I first heard about IDA when my lecturer talked to me about it. How my internship system works is that it's either you choose internship yourself, or there's currently this PolyFinTech 100 that allows us to choose internships from like over 100 fintech companies. I felt that if I took a startup company, I'll be able to learn more from a startup company as compared to a larger company.
We're very, very simply a machine learning company. We develop machine learning technologies to solve problems in insurance and banking.
My first day was like I feel like very excited. As this is my first working experience in Singapore. Before I came here, I learned doing the web application using C#, but doing the web app using the JavaScript with JavaScript framework. It's most like start from scratch, and we know how to start and how to apply the feature to the app.
Programming languages, every student gets to learn, be it in Polytechnic or in the universities. It's the soft skill that matters, whether they can apply what they learn to solve a particular problems.
I think the other thing is maybe understanding of the business problems in the financial services domain. So this combination of knowing what the problems are and how technology can solve. I mean, that to me is really what FinTech is all about.
Most people know MS as the central bank. It issues currencies. MS also has a development function such as promoting adoption of new technology and innovation at banks. I'm in the FinTech Innovation Group, and this is one of the key focus of my department. FinTech was very related to my course, Diploma in Financial Informatics, and I'm very interested to see how FinTech can be developed and implemented in Singapore, especially this is aligned with Singapore becoming a smart nation. The project Ruby, which I am currently working on, is looking at the use of distributed ledger technology to improve financial transactions, especially for cross-border payments. If you can do that well, the impact on the global economy will be huge, and the consumer will definitely benefit from it. My supervisor is Vicky. The biggest takeaway from him is that he's very knowledgeable in blockchain. He's also very patient when explaining to me when I'm in doubt, and I learn a lot from him. So there's one time my supervisor asked me to brief the team on what is zero knowledge proof by coming up with a short summary report about it. My supervisor linked us up with the technology teams so that my doubts can be cleared when doing the report. So one of the fondest memory that forged during this internship period is that I was tasked to help out with a marketing material for one of my colleagues. So I stayed up to 10 PM to finish it. My internship buddy stayed up to 10 PM with me also. This is the fondest memory that I have. Brothers for life.
One of the interesting thing about this particular project is that we have a lot of project participants, and through that our interns actually get to interact with a lot of different people. So one of the things I've seen happen is really the difference in their thinking, their attitude. They are more willing to ask questions, and they are much more open to talking to other people now. You know, every time there's interview questions, there are always questions which you're not able to answer. And especially when we are interviewing interns, fresh graduates, we do not expect them to understand every single thing that's out there on the market today. So it's really about showing that attitude that I'm willing to learn. I might not understand something today, but I will find out more and then I'll give you a reply later. That's a very good attitude to have.
I was the only student in NYP to have a FinTech internship because the rest of my peers all went to banks and financial institutions, but I found that there's an internship opportunity at a FinTech company. Not many lecturers or tutors who have the experience and technical knowledge in that technology. So in order to have the first-hand experience, I decided to go on a FinTech internship with R3. When I had meetups with my classmates, we often have discussions on what is their job roles. And they were all doing traditional back-end processes. And then I would say that with FinTech, these traditional processes can be streamlined into like 2 steps. And you'll be like, wow, that's crazy. That's why people say that FinTech disrupts the traditional banking practices. I realized that I was actually given important responsibilities in the company. For example, writing research papers. Not many interns in my level of education gets to write research papers. I have a team that helps me. It's called a research team, which is mainly based in Singapore and New York. So we collaborate with each other. We have calls, meetings to discuss new potential research ideas, teams, and then we'll get, let's say, companies to partner with us to co-research and we create research white papers on various FinTech teams. I think the biggest thing I learned in my internship over here at R3 was the technical knowledge. I mean, the CCA called Investment Club, we have a new branch, it's called FinTech. I was required to conduct workshops on Bitcoin's fundamental concepts on FinTech. One advice I can give is to get yourself familiar with the fundamentals and concepts of, let's say, Bitcoin and blockchain. So, as a learning curve can be quite steep in the beginning, so having a background information beforehand gives you a big advantage over tackling the steep learning curve at the beginning. Initially, I got my information from Bits on Blogs, essentially made by one of my colleagues called Anthony. Yeah, he writes easily understandable blockchain concepts, distributed ledger technology concepts on his blog, so it's easier to understand. He uses illustrations to prove his point, make it easily digestible for people that does not have much technical knowledge in this field.
Okay, so I'm in the FinTech and data team. In my first day in SGX, I was only more scared than shy and worried, because immediately when I came into the office, I saw my colleagues. They all had 3 monitors, and all of the monitors had code, and the code, I look at them, I was like, oh, actually, I don't understand all these codes. I was more afraid that I may not be able to be up for the task. So one of the things that I've learned is actually KDB, which is a new type of programming language for the specialized database that actually we use. So of course for the first maybe 1, 2, 3 days, basically it was just me scrolling through hundreds of pages of text just to understand SGX and understand the codes. Actually with the right documents and tutorials, I actually can pick it up decently well. Around my first week, I'm actually given my first task to actually build a order book liquidity dashboard. With that, I actually can try to maybe refine my KDB skills and actually put it to use. When it comes to a real life situation, it's much more difficult and much more different. There's so many special functions that comes with the system that we're working on.
I think Caleb integrated very well with the team. Within 2 days, he was already talking to everyone, making friends. He's also not afraid with the workload I gave him. I tend to be a bit hands-off to see how the student will react, so I will just give him everything and then I let him figure it out. And I think he's done a pretty good job on that end.
He or she doesn't have to have a particular knowledge in a particular language or have to be an advanced coder, but somebody who understands technology. On top of that, 2 other things. We look for interns, or I look for interns that not only want to come and learn but want to contribute. Most of the time people say, oh, I'm here to learn more, but what I'm looking for is people who know how they want to contribute, because I always tell my interns that you shouldn't have the mindset that you're an intern. Look at yourself as just another member of the team. The other thing that I look for is somebody who questions everything. If you ask a question and you get an answer, question the answer as well. And that's really a way that you can learn more about the company that you're at and more about whatever task that you're doing.
Visa, most people, if they think of Visa, they think we are a credit card company. But I'm here to say that we are not a credit card company. In fact, we don't issue credit cards. I would say Visa is more of a leading global payment technology companies that we facilitate fund transfer globally via VisaNet.
So for the strategic partnerships side, we connect with Visa stakeholders and also build strategic partnerships. So for example, there is an upcoming event that we will be trying to involve all these stakeholders to discuss about future opportunities. So for my department, we also work on the innovation aspect. So actually now we have a co-creation project going on, and the clients can come over and also discuss about the problems that they face in their company. We try to solve their problem by seeing how Visa's products can actually help them.
We use this process called the design thinking process, and basically what we do is the client provides us with the problem statement, and we'll spend about 3 to 5 weeks solving that problem for them. So it's a long process.
So I'm in the country management department, working under strategy and business development. So we deal with a lot of clients. We also do with the overall strategy of Singapore business and Brunei. Every day is different. I mean, I can't give you a specific answer. But in my second week, I actually played soccer with my clients. It was fun.
Actually, my work from day to day actually varies because it's actually project based, and I can't be sure what is gonna happen.
I guess for my department, which is the co-creation team, I would recommend if you guys have any design thinking modules, I really encourage you to take it. And in addition to that, because with the co-creation team, we deal with many different clients from all over the world, and I think it's really important to have adept knowledge with the world's current affairs. So if you're someone who reads a newspaper, who keeps up with politics and all that, I think it's really good stock knowledge to have.
They have a long journey ahead. So whatever hard skill they have, over the lifetime, I think it's evolved so fast, we have to constantly learn. So whatever hard skill they have right now, it may be irrelevant very soon. So it is more important to have the ability to learn